Okay, Abusia, I can of O.Atta, Nansing, Attorney General, and then on some about to Jana, on some na, or about to Jana, Attorney General, I can say, Ken of O.Atta, I can hire 13 top lawyers, I just say, or they, or more baby fees, ne extradition against Attorney General. Na, yeah, that's sorry, Abusia, Yakwako, Ken of O.Atta, UK. Abonten so London just a Christmas no ne former president Akuffo ne Rebecca Akuffo siano Ken of O.Atta and then abusuafo no chile Xmas we London ya de ho breaking news na to say no na ya project at the ato you screen no enchen at the amamuno Ken of O.Atta in London celebrating Christmas with Nana Addo&Rebecca Akuffo Dr. Ren. Abusia ono na ababe likisa info ya ode sa info no ede ama Attorney General or chese Ken of O.Atta kokopi mo London oni Akuffo ene Nere Rebecca Akuffo omo celebrate Christmas no e wo London abusia breaking news ho a yede ebrem no na Ken of O.Atta ne lawyers na okoko hire omo no abusia yede kan de abrem lawyers yi baako edikan agency edin sembi ababe to da yedikan a report ewo channel no so edi amamo asese Ken of O.Atta no de Ghana de emu se part obeba Ghana bio de omba Ghana bio obeba Ghana agise NPP asanso arene power sa brie ya echese ordinary Christmas ewo London no ne ninu abema Akuffo ne keze ne uncle was den ejo money wa London ne yiri de abuso emu ayede amomu ya ise Ghana Ken of O.Atta ejinani enso Ghana the lives of Attorney General Ghana paying for yene mufo ne kwa we are thinking about Ken of O.Atta and extradition but no emfa no kra into when breaking news na ewo ho ayede ebremo na ensem bi so okoso mo me na enkonkoti sa ensem no efa constitutional review no madamasa
retroactive effects.
Yes.
What it means is that His Excellency Mahama was elected by this current constitution, and so he's going to go by the tenets of this constitution. Yeah. So he's going to have the 4 years, and then we say goodbye to him. Thereafter, so there's a high possibility if by the time President Mahama's tenure ends, this amendments are adopted. Those that needs issuance of a white paper, and those that needs parliamentary approval, and those that need referendum are all decided upon. Then it means it can take effect from 7th of January 2029.
Right.
So that is one thing that we put in on record. The one that I don't agree with, Justice, is the decision to say we're not gonna have 24-hour round the clock 24/7 politicking in the country. I don't think it's in the domain of anybody to so decide in the constitutional democracy that we've all adopted, that you are going to gag people from going about the political thing. Whose duty is it to say this is a political season, this is not a political season? You see, if the government is focused on its vision and purpose and it's getting the people to work, nobody will be thinking about what the politicians are doing. You get it? They will focus on what the vision is and the bigger from assuming CEO positions and co. I'm not too comfortable with that. You get it? Some people think it's trite and proper, but Justice, there are some people, yes, I believe that we should have institutional advancement and progression.
Yes.
Okay, people within the structure to grow and to get to the top. But there are some people too who deliberately sabotage the efforts of a particular government because they don't like the government or they don't even like the president. Okay, it happens.
Right.
Deliberate sabotage. Because he is in charge. He has been put there. You get it? Because he's risen through the ranks and he is there. He doesn't like this president. He doesn't like this party in government. So he doesn't care. He takes decisions that are at variance with government policy and vision. What happens? The nation is going to suffer if we have those people.
But are you also not worried?
Yes.
About the fact that over the years, appointments of party people into these public institutions as CEOs and stuff like that, it's more or less like party members and party executives are rewarded with such positions. And so sometimes people who are appointed to man those positions do not deserve it. They don't qualify to be in such offices and stuff like that. So it looks like we are putting square pegs in
I don't know. There may be some exceptions.
Yes.
But all in all, there are lots that have distinguished themselves. Yes, we, the MPP, had problems with some of these appointees. For instance, Professor Atifa, you know, a very intelligent, distinguished citizen and patriot, who got appointed and said he wasn't there to do the bidding of any the party. You get it? It was wrong because he had been appointed earlier.
Yeah.
And then when the party lost, he lost that position. And when the party won again, he was reappointed. So he should send the signal to him that he's there because the party is in government or was in government. You get it?
Right.
And so you cannot say that you are not there. Why? Are the party people not citizens of the country? Okay? So those are things that you need to understand. Again, people vote for you because, you know, sometimes because of the party you belong to. You get it?
Yes.
And so those things must also be considered. And then you look at it that, okay, why? People vote for parties because they believe when those parties are in power, they will get some opportunities. And then you go to stand there and know the person there doesn't even know you, doesn't care about who you are. Okay? We've had those occasions where people have been brought from outside. Okay? He doesn't even know who Kwejo is.
In the current administration, people are equally complaining that some people who are managing CEO positions are not known to the party. They don't even know the grassroots.
If you go, they don't even care. They don't care. It's true.
I don't know you.
And that affects, you see, it brings apathy. It brings... You see, it's disheartening. You get it? Because look at the excitement with which people voted the NDC into power in the last election. And then people believe they're going to get opportunities. And then they go, they hear there's an opportunity. They go there, the CEO doesn't even want to see them. You can imagine. But if it were a party executive or individual who has been appointed and put there, he knows some of the responsibilities. At least if the opportunity is not even there, he will want to talk to you. He will want to see you, to encourage you that, okay, we are working on it. Maybe he knows how to talk to the people. And some will get the opportunity. So I'm not for the issue of saying no party person. You see, there was this argument, was an NDC person today. He said he agrees that party executives shouldn't be there. I wasn't too comfortable because he was thinking they're going to desert the party office and the party work. You get it? But hey, that's not this thing. They will do their party works, but when it comes for executive responsibilities, they'll be able to discharge those ones. So it's something that we need to you look at. Again, another one that I agree with Justice is the implementation of Montesquieu's theorem of separation of powers.
Yes.
Okay? Absolute member of parliament business. The executive must be executive.
So you don't have a situation where the constitution says that more than 50% should be appointed as ministers.
Has it helped us? I don't think so.
No, what over the years that has succeeded in doing is to destroy parliament completely.
Yes.
Because you may have a situation
Parliament
where
is playing second fiddle to the executive.
Exactly. And you maybe have a situation where you need these MPs in Parliament, they are attending to their ministerial duties, and so they are nowhere to be found. It weakens Parliament.
The issue to be debated upon are the key issues, and they have the knowledge in those areas, and they are needed, and they are not there. Okay? It suffers deficiency in expertise contributions. You get, and so Look, in Liberia, it is and they are powerful. The member of parliament is more powerful than the minister in Liberia. Now here is not the case. If you are not lucky and you are an MP and you are not a minister or a deputy minister, trouble for you. You know what I'm talking about.
I understand.
Resource-wise and it's going to be difficult. Okay? And so this proposal, I'm all out for it. In fact, I had a friend in Liberia, he told me, he says, Doc, a Liberian member of parliament is not going, the minister is not his equal at all. If they summon you a minister to parliament, trouble for you. You get it? Because the MP is the people's representative. Okay? That is the level I want us to elevate the member of parliament position to. He doesn't have to be jostling to catch the eye of the president. Okay? Look at what, when President Mahama started appointing. Everybody was going to Jubilee to lobby. Okay? Everybody, all MPs were going there.
But it's no one.
Yes, you get it. No, all, no, you get it. All they were lobbying.
Mr. Kindly step down for me in a minute.
To catch the eye, to catch the eye of the president, and because if they are ministers, then they will be able to get certain advantages to push their constituencies to move or maybe develop or give opportunities to their people. You get it? So these are things that I think I'm all for. H. Kwesi Prempeh, his team, members of parliament should not be ministers of state. Separation of powers in its absolute.
No, I'll come back to you. Let's quickly take an advert and a draw from
the others that
from our sponsors. We'll come back. We'll end the program at 10:20. So let's take an advert and a draw from our sponsors. When we come back, the discussion continues. Please stay with us.
One of the other things that we think would be new one of the things that we believe would be new for us is also in the way in which our public services and the public sector generally has been organized, and the role of partisanship in the operations of our public sector, whether it's the commercial sector, the SOEs, or is the public service. The President, Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Honorable Chief of Staff, and members of the Presidency, my fellow members of the Constitution Review Committee and the Secretariat, ladies and gentlemen, to be here today to present the report, an abridged report, I would say, but this is a summary of main recommendations as we have called it. But this has been the culmination of 18 months of painstaking work. You tasked us that we needed to go through an inclusive participatory process. And then otherwise, it was more like a blank slate that you gave us. You also said you needed us to bring actionable recommendations and that you didn't want any theory. So we took that to heart. And in the last 18 months, the last 11 months, we have traveled the country. We've been to 10 regions of the country, held engagements in the country, from academia to trade unions. And we believe that at the end of it, what it is that we propose will indeed be the actionable recommendations that you tasked us to come up with. Doing this service for country, in the process, we've learned a lot about our own country. We've traveled the length and breadth of this country, and it's given us insights that I think many of us probably would not have gotten but for this opportunity. So we're very grateful for that opportunity. I must also recall, because I happen to know how fraught constitution review processes are in other parts of the region, in other parts of the continent. Ours was just a very simple process. I happened to participate in a webinar recently about a constitution review process going on in another African country. And when I mentioned our process, they said, "You mean the president's attorney general just called you and said they wanted you to chair this thing, and that was it? I mean, no fighting, nothing happened?" I said, "No." It was just mind-boggling. They couldn't understand that you could get something off the ground as big as a constitution review project in an African country without thinking that this is really a very rare moment for us. We learned a lot from Ghanaians. There is a big clamor for change, and I do not think that it is something that we took for granted when we traveled the country and got a sense of the expectation that people had. So we have done our best in these pages, about 100 and so pages, recommendations, and then find with our reasons and all the theories should be that one. These are the actionable recommendations for now. So I'll invite my fellow members, if you would join me. We have copies, the first 6 copies of the report to present to you, Mr. President, and if that's okay. All right, good. So I have been advised that it would be helpful to highlight a few things are told exactly what it is. They are giving parameters, certain things that must be included or must not be included. We were not given any such parameters. So we listened to Ghanaians. We reviewed the past efforts that had been done. And some of the highlights, I would say, are not what people are expecting. So I think for the first time, we think we are ready as a country to make a historic move in the way in which our local government is structured. So we are advocating that we deepen our democracy by extending it downwards to the local communities. And we're also proposing in that direction, if we're going to be electing MMDCEs, that we should also take another look at chieftain legitimacy that chiefs have for good at the local level. So we are also proposing to bring them into the local government structure, initially in the legislative and deliberative body at the district assembly, but we are proposing that there must be some plan to bring them in a more direct governing role at the sub-district level in terms of how our towns and villages are run. And for that, we have left the task to a devolution commission that we're proposing to really roll out and manage the whole decentralization enterprise as a country. We're also proposing changes in the Council of State, a significant change in the way in which that body is organized, partly in response to an expanded purpose, returning it more or less to its original 1969 intention, which was to be a co-guarantor of the independence in the area of appointments, so that a number with a nomination for the president. There are also, I think, one of the areas that we think is also important is the way the relationship between the executive and the legislature is organized. There has been a lot of talk around the separation of the two. We have looked at the evidence. Clearly, it works for some countries. We know that in Britain and other places, the entire executive comes from the legislature. That's fine for them. It's quite well here. And since we're supposed to be doing actionable recommendations, we thought, well, it also has to respond to our specific context. So we're proposing that what we have called the hybrid, which we have run for some time, over 30 years now, that we dispense with it, that focuses on things that we think would be new. One of the things that we believe would be new for us is also in the way in which our public services and the public sector generally has been organized, and the role of partisanship in the operations of our public sector, whether it's the commercial sector, the SOEs, or it's the public services, civil service generally. So we have made quite a number of recommendations. The affinity remains. But when it comes to running the affairs of states, we believe that we need to erect some walls around the state so that those who go in there are going in there not representing party interest. Those interests are in government appropriately, and we believe that we need to protect the state sector from over-politicization. So we have made certain recommendations affecting things like the appointment processes for state-owned enterprises. We also think it's about time to draw in SIGA, or a SIGA-like body, into the Constitution. We have always maintained this fiction in our Constitution that the public services, those public corporations of a commercial nature, do not belong in the Constitution. So we've kept them away, and while they are not strictly public services, we believe that the kind of impact they have on the economy, the scale of their operations, the percentage of GDP that they control, the contingent liabilities they impose on us, the systemic risk, all of those things justify bringing them closer to the Constitution so we can put some oversight.
So, Ken of O.Atta and Asisiano, Yakuno, or London, just say, or name Akuffo Addo&Rebecca, Chile, or London, I want to. So, in years, but I was someone Japan who could see and some way at it to Aha, Ghana politics, Avenue, so, Madam.